Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about relationships, as I do frequently, because there's just so much that's coming to me now with everything that's going on in the outer world, in the collective, with the war and the suffering and drama. And I cannot help but think that our outer reality reflects a lot of what's going on in our inner reality. And when we look at the way we do our relationships, even within the family, we know that there is so much conflict, right? There is so much conflict. And then if we even go deeper than that, if we look at our families and our relationships with people in our lives, then it also reflects our relationship with ourselves and the violent and judgmental and critical inner dialogue. So everything that I've understood about relationships in the last 8 years that I was going through my own transformation and all the ups and downs of my relationships with people who are in my life, I understood that so much of our reality, of the way we perceive our reality, has to do with our expectations, beliefs, our attitudes, and our own relationship with ourselves. So we're used to think that other people or the outside circumstances are responsible for our state of being, for the way we're feeling, for our experience. And then we often think that it's by changing the outer experience, it's by changing the outer circumstances or the people with whom we're in relationship that we change our experience. And what I found in my own journey that's been so incredibly mind-blowing, that has really cleansed me of a lot of my previous beliefs, is that my experience is fully dependent on my inner terrain. So for example, when I understood that I have something to do with what I attract into my life, the relationships, the way they play out is, at least in part, my own, the way I show up, my beliefs. What I believe about people is reflected on the way I experience them. Whether I understand that my feelings are the product of my own inner experience and then attending to them is my own responsibility is very different than if I think that my unhappiness, my dissatisfaction is caused by other people. And I feel that a lot of what we're going through now is a kind of portal toward that transformation. I think more and more we're understanding that the world that shaped us, the 20th century, most of us, or the beginning of 21st, is not going to be serving us very well. And the antiquated ways of understanding relationships and our beliefs about what love is and about what other people owe us or don't owe us or what we owe them, all of these need to be revised, and all of these need to be really detoxed, and understand also that that a belief is just a frequently repeated thought, and a thought can be changed. And I understand today that so much of my suffering in the last several years that I was documenting in my writing are actually my own journey toward understanding who I am, detoxifying from the beliefs about who I am and what my role is here, freeing myself from the roles which were assigned to me and redefining what these roles mean. For example, what it means to be a mother in the 21st century, what it means to be a woman in the 21st century. And what I'm, quite amazed in finding, for example, in my own relationships today, is the fact that as I changed my relationship with myself, as I freed myself from obligations that didn't feel good to me, as I became more and more clear about who I am, why I'm here, and what it is that I want to experience in my life, my relationships have changed dramatically. And it's not so much that other people have changed and that's what freed me and that's what improved my experience of them. It was very much finding compassion in my relationship with myself and then bringing that compassion to other people in my life was the key. And then another incredible and unexpected sort of byproduct of this process was that as I became more tolerant and more forgiving and more compassionate with the people in my life, they started changing because they were received differently by me. We were now in a different kind of relationship. They felt safe by being understood and seen by me as the human being that they are. When I was done with my unrealistic expectations and demanding things from them that they weren't able to give me, when I started taking care of my own needs and providing for myself in every way that means, the people in relationships with me became safe to be who they are. And when we feel safe to be who we are, we relax and we are more willing to become vulnerable and we are more willing to self-express. And the more they have become safe to be who they are, and the more I was willing to receive them in that capacity, the more pleasure I was able to receive from these relationships. So it's just been an incredible journey that I feel privileged to share with everyone. And the words that are becoming my motto now is, when we come to safety to be who we are, it means that we can question our own beliefs, that it no longer feels painful as if we're criticizing ourselves. We're just being very realistic with ourselves and we question our own beliefs. And when I started questioning my own beliefs, I understood that so many of them were inherited, that I accepted them without critical thought, and that actually they weren't serving me very well anymore. And when I became safe to understand what my values are and what is important to me, so much of my reality started changing. So safe to be me, to me, is the beginning of everything. Coming to that relationship with ourselves where I feel safe to be me, I feel safe to self-express, I feel safe to also nurture myself. Everything changes. Our relationships respond. Even life shifts its, the way we interact with it, and everything shifts as a response to our own changes in our own relationship with ourselves.